Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Going to Attic Space. My name is Jason Boehning. I'm the owner of Uni-Serve Air Conditioning in Houston, Texas, where we maintain, repair, and replace heating and air conditioning systems for residential and light commercial customers. We have many wonderful clients all across this wonderful city, which we call Space City. And so going off of that will help me explain to you what going to attic space is. So obviously being here in Space City, there's a lot of space and astronaut themes. And as air conditioning contractors, we go into a lot of attics. And astronauts go into outer space, where we go into attic space. And so that is where we got the whole idea of going to attic space. Our motto at Uni-Serve is, we go to attic space to bring you comfort. As we were thinking about this podcast and what we wanted to share, we came up with the name Going to Attic Space. Here we want to share our story as air conditioning contractors, how we got into this space, our mission of taking care of our customers here in the Houston area, and some fun stories. And so our idea with this is to share with you how you can maintain your air conditioning system, what to be on the lookout for, and like I said, some fun stories of things that we see, some crazy things we see out in the field on a day-to-day basis. With this first episode of Going to Attic Space, I wanted to share my story of how I ended up here at Uni-Serve and what our mission is as a company, so that you know a little more about us and what our mission is as a company. I'll start with sharing a little bit of my background. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of Texas. I went to Texas A&M University, where I studied mechanical engineering, and I ended up here in Houston designing HVAC systems. It wasn't exactly what I was planning on when I was in college, but it worked out, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't know a whole lot about the HVAC space until I got into college and started studying things like heat transfer and thermodynamics and airflow, fluid dynamics, all that fun stuff. And I really started to trend in that direction in terms of the specific areas of mechanical engineering that I enjoyed. And after I graduated, I ended up here in Houston, like I said, at an engineering consulting firm designing HVAC systems. We did a lot of schools. We did some office buildings, restaurants, lots of miscellaneous projects. And so I got to see a lot of various systems in some really cool buildings, and it was really great to be a part of. After a few years of doing that, I started to go into the consulting space. And after several years in that, I ended up starting my own consulting business. And what I did there was I worked with a lot of large mechanical and electrical contractors, as well as engineering firms around the entire country. And so I really got to see lots of amazing projects in some of the great cities in this country and help a lot of people. And what we primarily did was focus on implementing digital technologies into the design and construction process, with my focus mainly being on mechanical systems, HVAC systems, plumbing systems, so on and so forth. I did that for several years, really enjoyed it, really enjoyed working with the trades and seeing firsthand the importance of the trades in this country. And then 2020 comes, and as you all know what happened then, we had all the shutdowns with COVID and all that came with that. And so it really shut down a lot of my travel around the country working with my clients. It also gave me an opportunity to think through what I wanted to do with my career and kind of the next steps in my career, if you will. And I really started thinking about focusing on staying home. That was a big thing, having traveled a lot around the country. I wanted to stay home with my family. I have a wife and two young boys, and so the travel was really taking a toll on the family life. And so I wanted to stay home, and obviously having a background in HVAC, I started thinking about having a mechanical contracting business here in Houston. And I wasn't quite ready to take that step into designing and building large commercial buildings and being a part of that. There's a lot of risk involved in that. And so I started thinking about the home service side of things. I started to see that there were a lot of poor home service contractors in the city, and just having experienced it myself and some of the poor service that we experienced, I wanted to bring a higher level of precision and customer service into the home service space. And so that's when I started looking at residential air conditioning companies. And I thought about starting one from scratch, but that would take a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of money, which I just wasn't quite prepared for at the time. And so what I ended up deciding to do was looking for a company that was looking to sell out. And there is a lot of older guys that are in this space that are looking to sell their company after having ran it for 30 or 40 years, and they're looking to retire. And I ended up meeting the previous owner of Uni-Serve, and he was ready to be out of the business and ready to retire. And anyways, long story short, we connected, we worked out a deal, and I took over Uni-Serve Air Conditioning in May of 2022, and we've been running ever since, and it's been great. So just to share with you a little bit about what we're trying to do, as I mentioned before, we're trying to bring a higher level of customer service back to the industry. We want to be the local neighborhood air conditioning company that you turn to. When you have an issue, you can pick up your phone, call us, text us, reach out online, whatever it may be, but you know that we're going to get back to you. We're going to send somebody to your home that hopefully you know and trust and is going to take care of you. Or if you're a new customer, then you'll be meeting us for the first time, but nonetheless, you'll be able to reach somebody that you can trust and know that we're going to take care of you. Just to share with you a little bit about our mission. So our mission statement is to love our neighbors in the greater Houston area by providing heating, ventilation, and air conditioning services to maintain healthy, comfortable spaces. You may be wondering, why do you start with loving your neighbor? What does that have to do with AC? Well, just to give you a little background here. So there's a lot of home service companies here in the Houston area that have a major emphasis on sales, and they pay their team members or their employees 100% commission. So in order for them to get paid, they have to make a sale. Once I saw that, I really didn't like that model. And here's why. So the problem with that is that whenever somebody comes to your home, in order for them to get a paycheck for that time they spent at your home, they have to make a sale. And if nothing's wrong with your system, if we're just doing basic maintenance, then it can be tough there. And so I'm sure you can read between the lines on some of the things that can happen there. I didn't want any of that to happen. I didn't want any of that to even cross our people's minds. And so we want to, first off, just do the basic services, whether it's maintenance, repair, replacement, and not be so heavily focused on sales. As I said before, we want to be the local air conditioning company that you can trust to call, and we're going to come out and take care of you. So obviously we have to sell things. We have to make money. We are a for-profit company, but that's not our first focus. Our first focus is taking care of you, the customer. And that's why our mission starts with loving our neighbor. We live in Houston just like you do. We shop at the H-E-Bs. We eat at the same restaurants you do. We go to the Astros games. So we are neighbors here in this great city, And so we want to take care of our neighbors by providing HVAC services. And that's why we start with just taking care of our neighbors. So that's a little background on our mission statement of loving our neighbors. It gives you a little insight into how we operate. And that's something that we talk about all the time. The other thing too, we really focus on trying to be a trustworthy, relational air conditioning company. And so once again, you are our neighbors here in this great city, and we want to build relationships with you and just be that local air conditioning company that you call when you have any issues. So that's some of the background here of my story and kind of my journey of going to attic space, if you will. And then hopefully that gives you some insight into the way that we approach this business and how we are looking to take care of our neighbors in this great city and just be somebody that you can trust whenever you give us a call to come out and whether it be maintain or repair or replace your air conditioning system. Now, if you need to get a hold of us, you can look at some of the contact information provided here in the links. You can also go to Uni-Serve AC, that's all one word, UNISERVE AC.com, and there will be multiple ways to get a hold of us through our website. So, once again, this is Going to Attic Space, and I hope you'll join us next time, and we'll see you soon.